This is the Sales Babble Podcast, episode 300. The top 10 sales and marketing tools for 2020 with returning guest, Neil Kristianson.
Welcome to Sales Babble, the podcast that shares selling secrets for non-sellers. And now your host, Pat Helmers.
Welcome, Neil. You ready to babble?
Are we going right now? I'm like in mid-chew.
You're in mid-chew. I don't know about you, but I think this is the sixth one we've done.
Every year we have this discussion. What number is this? I think it is 6.
I think this is 6. I think there's 6 of them. I went back and counted because last time you said there were 5, and I was like, that's not true. It's only 4. And I was wrong.
And I was right, wasn't I?
You were right.
We did the first one in in December of 2013, right? For 14.
14, yeah, mm-hmm. yeah. Mm-hmm. And it was a really fun thing to do and a very useful thing to do, and I think people really enjoy these because these tools are game changers, and that is. So I said tools. So what's the topic for today?
It is our top 5 tools, or top 10 if you combine us.
Right.
Tools for 2020.
Right.
And this is where the confusion comes in because we call the episode 2020, but we're still in 2019 as we record this.
Yeah, but I've got my head wrapped around like these are tools we learned in 2019, but they're for you, the Sales Babble listener, the Sales Babbler, to use in the year 2020.
And some of these I've discovered one of them I've discovered just in the last few weeks. So, it's very, very new, very fresh.
Well, I've got one on my list here I think I started using about 7 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Pretty bloody awesome.
Well, now I'm curious.
Yeah, it's in fact the first one that's on my list. Welcome to the Sales Babble studio.
Well, thank you. It's nice to be back.
I don't have a lot of visitors here in the Sales Babble studio. Probably 2 or 3 a year. That's it.
Yes, I feel honored, special.
You've been here a number of times. I think you've been on the podcast a lot. I bet you've been on the podcast more than anybody else.
This is either number 7 or number 8. I can't remember because we've got the 6 tools shows. Plus, I've been on at least once, maybe twice.
To talk about automated. So why don't you tell a little bit about you so that people can understand. So if people who are new to the podcast, they can learn why.
They're going, who is this guy?
Yeah, who is this guy?
Yeah, so I'm Neil. Hi. And my company is Email Splat, and I build automated business systems for automated CRMs mostly for small sales teams primarily. So we build out automation for sales teams to use to make their lives easier.
I love it.
There you go.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. No lost leads. Nothing falling through the cracks.
Nothing falling through the cracks.
Mm-hmm.
No. You've taught me a ton about email. And every time I hear people doing email and I chat with them, I hear a lot of them are doing it wrong.
Yes. Yes. I did a marketing conference over the weekend in Nashville and where I spoke, and some of the questions, I'm like, it's the same old questions. Yeah.
I want to make it a newsletter. I want to have it all lots of HTML. It's got to be really pretty. It's got to have...
Yeah, it's a lot of that, but it's also I don't want to, quote, bother anyone. So I'm only going to send an email every 6 months, every year.
Get over it.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Then why do you have an email list?
Yeah.
Why bother?
Yeah. You need to get over yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you want to be in business or don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, really, think about it yourself. How many emails do you get every day? You get tons of them.
Well, that's my point. Like, if you only send an email every 6 months, the average person in America gets, I think the latest is now 140 emails a day is the average. So so in 30 days, how many emails has someone gotten? How are they even going to remember who you are? Because most of us are using email to like nurture a list. And if I'm only sending every 6 months, they're opening that going, who is this? Why am I getting this email? Then then you are bothering them.
This looks like spam.
Mm-hmm. Then you are bothering them.
So what is the right, we're getting off track here, but what is the right interval?
I just did a whole podcast on this 2 days ago with somebody. What's the right cadence, frequency, whatever word you want to use? It depends. There's the answer. Let's move on. It depends. Well, it depends on your sales cycle, where this person is in the sales cycle. If your sales cycle is 2 years, then maybe more spread out is better. If your sales cycle is 2 months, weekly, a couple times a week. Mm-hmm. So as your sales cycle shortens, as the dollar value of the product you're selling shortens, which usually goes hand in hand with the sales cycle, but not necessarily. As that shortens, it also gets more frequent. So it depends. And it also depends on where they're at in the journey. If they've just discovered you and just started talking with you, probably more frequent. If they're kind of in that not really ready for you yet, but we just want to educate them stage, well, then less frequent. So there's a whole...
What we're doing is actually we're breaking all my podcast rules.
Which is stick to one topic.
I can't stand podcasts where they yabber for like 10, 15 minutes before they get to the stuff that we have.
Then let's get to the stuff.
So where are we at?
First of all, we have to talk about the beer, though, right?
We're 6 minutes and 40 seconds.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Not
People are still with us, right?
Yes.
We're interesting.
Well, what's the other thing? We need to mention that this isn't just a
beer
podcast
episode
about the top 10s. This is the beer episode.
Yep.
We're actually drinking...
And Pat is about to finish off a fine backflip from Crystal Lake Brewing.
Yeah.
Is what we got going right now, which is a Belgian style. And he's semi-enjoying it.
It's so-so.
It's so-so.
It's so-so.
We're not giving it a rousing endorsement.
No. What's interesting about these beers, too, is it's actually part of an advent calendar.
Yes. That Pat is very jealous about.
You got in on it. I didn't get on. Of course, I just drank this beer, and I'm like, well, maybe I'm not missing any of it.
Yeah.
But these other ones here look really terrific. We'll talk about them when we get to them.
Yes, we'll work our way through the beers.
I have a keg of beer here that I brewed.
That you brewed?
I'm bringing for Christmas.
Yeah.
Yes. This is a Scotch ale from... And I'm really excited about that. This is the first time I've ever done any kegging. It's not quite conditioned right yet. It takes a few days, but it's close enough that we can.
But you're going to feed it to me anyway.
We're going to give it a go.
Okay.
All right.
Sure.
So let's start with our list. I got my list here. I have my list on there on my hot new Habanero Media post-it
Oh,
notes.
that's very nice. You're already up and going.
I am already going. I just got paid yesterday. My first client, Habanero.
That is nice.
Pretty bloody awesome.
I like money.
So so to let all the listeners know, I never ever talk about this hardly on the podcast. I heard that I'm starting a podcast production company for B2B companies that are client based. Busy people who don't have time to grow their revenue and improve their brand, and do it through podcasting, because podcasting is the new blogging.
Yes. Yeah.
You're a former podcaster.
3 times or 4 times?
Back in the dark days.
Oh, I was early. Yeah. I was too early. Because my first one was for my business. Mm-hmm. And I was too early. I did the first one probably in 2008. And then before anybody knew what a podcast was. If I had stuck with it, I'd be on, HGTV by now, or Discovery Channel or something. But
most podcasts pod fade.
I did it for about a year, but we were too early.
But it's not too late now.
No.
That was pretty clear. I was at Podcast Move It in the summer. It's pretty clear that now is the time. Now is the time to strike, because everybody's kind of getting a sense of it.
Mm-hmm.
Edison. We're getting off.
Wow.
Track again.
All right, give us one of your 5.
Oh, you
Pat.
want me to?
Yeah, go.
Okay. Well, this actually has something to do with Sales Babble.
Okay.
My first tool is called Let's Chat.
Okay.
And it's a really cool tool.
Evidently, it's on your phone.
She wants to join us. Oops.
Siri.
That's another rule. Turn
your
phone off.
I probably. Oh wait, it's right here. I'm like looking for my phone. It's got my notes on it. I'm getting old.
Where's my glasses?
Yeah.
Oh, here they are.
They're on top of my head.
Let's Chat. I interviewed a guy for the podcast. I haven't put it out yet. And he's actually looking to sponsor this. And in fact, I had a conversation with him yesterday. He's even rolling out more tools. But what's cool about this tool is this is a chatting tool. And you might be thinking, there's tons of chat tools. Why do we need another one? What's unique about this one's designed for sales reps. Lots of people like chatting, but some prospects are afraid to give their phone number away to a sales guy or gal.
Mm-hmm.
With this tool here, you can give them a link, and they can immediately, if they click on that link, they can start chatting you, and you're not really using their telephone number.
Okay.
So it makes for instantaneous questions. So you got a question, it immediately comes up on my phone. So someone's trying to chat me, and I chat them back. I started using it about 7 weeks ago, maybe.
Okay.
It's on the website. It's on all my. It's been all the show notes posts, and it's in my emails I send out. And I'll be darned if I'm not getting one of these chats once a week now.
Really? And have the chats led to anything?
Yeah, they're usually yes.
Yeah. What are they asking about?
How do I get on the podcast? I really enjoyed something that I read on the podcast. I saw something. And lots of times I share those on the podcast that so-and-so just said this about this, and I read it. I read it because I get tons of feedback, and I like to share that so that people don't think that they're the only ones listening to the podcast. That's not the case. Actually, this has been a terrific year for Sales Babble. High watermark, and it really shows up. People don't know this, but I have to beat off people trying to be on the podcast.
Now I really feel special. I think I should get a jacket. Like on SNL, they have the 5-timer jacket. I think I should, at some point.
I have a sponsor starting in Sales Next is going to start sponsoring Sales Babble in January. I gave them a coffee cup. Did I give you?
I have a coffee cup. Yeah, you're right. I do have a coffee cup. Yeah.
I could give you an habanero media Post-it notes maybe, or I could print some Sales Babble.
No, I'm just getting greedy. Yeah.
All right, so that's my first tool. Let's chat. What's yours?
Let's see. Which one do I want to use first? Okay. So something I couldn't believe, I realized as I was trying to make my list this year, something that is so obvious for a sales audience that I've never shared here before and I've been using for years, and that's Ipvanish. Have we talked about that before on this? I know I haven't.
No.
Ipvanish. So that is a VPN that I can put on that I use whenever I'm out of town or I'm at the Starbucks or wherever I'm at on some hokey free Wi-Fi thing.
Yep.
Because I'm pulling up sensitive customer data. Like I'm logging into customer accounts with their password that has all their contact information, all their customers' contact.
Right.
I can't just have that floating around on the Starbucks Wi-Fi. So I use Ipvanish for that, and it's really cheap. I think I forget what I pay, less than $50 a year, I think, for that.
I used to use Watopia when I was in Asia. I think it was $67 a year.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like $50 a year.
And I could get both Denise and I were on it on that same account.
Yeah, I can put it on my iPad. I can put it on my laptop. I can put it on my phone.
What makes this better than Watopia or any of the other VPNs out there?
I don't know. It's just the one I use. It's really simple. It's not expensive. I don't know. It's just the one I like. I found. I did a lot of research, but that was like 4 years ago. Can't believe I haven't talked about this yet. Back in the time, trying to find one that had, good speed, lots of endpoints.
So that's my next question would be: what's the speed like? Is it slowing down your sessions?
Not really. No, I'm still pulling video through it. I'm still pulling. I do a lot of Zoom calls and things, and I'll do Zoom calls through it. It's not pulling it down. It has hundreds of endpoints, so no matter where you're at, you're pretty close to a server for them. So, there's multiple servers in Chicago, and of course, throughout Canada, throughout the U.S.
When I was in China, VPN was necessary because the Great Firewall of China blocked Facebook, blocks Google, blocks. Interesting enough, it didn't block the news.
Yeah.
Like New York Times,
really?
NPR, Fox. You could get to those, but nobody speaks English over there, so they probably didn't care.
The other thing I use it for is like you said, then I can test as though I'm from another country on a website or something I'm doing. So some of my clients, like I recently was working for a client where she's in the UK, so we had to see how sales would look if they came in from France or the UK or Wales or wherever they were at. So I could pretend I was in a different country, and then, oh yeah, it's working. It's pulling up different currencies, or it's doing the right tax rate or whatever.
Cool.
So, yeah, that was the easy one.
Next, this is one I use a lot, and I don't know if anybody cares about this, but I kind of have to say this because I'm in I'm a marketing company now, right? Mm-hmm. I've been using Zencaster versus Zoom and Skype.
Okay. I don't know Zencaster.
Zencaster's a pretty free tool. If you put a whole bunch of people on it, they start. But for me, for just 2 people, it works pretty well. You can do a high quality recording. It records your session on your computer, my session on my computer. So it's for when people are far apart and they're not right next to each other. And when at the end of the recording, it then downloads the files into their servers, and then it ships it from their server to me.
Oh, so you can use it for podcasts. So you've got a better. You're not recording on your end; you're actually recording on their end.
And it's been pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's been really. The quality is higher and it's simpler than a lot of the other things that I've been using. Zoom's okay, but I don't think the quality of Zoom is as good as I would really, really like.
I don't know. That's what I use all the time. And
do you record with Zoom?
I record, but only for just reference. Yeah. You know, I go back and watch it to review what we talked about and things, or to share with my people and say, hey, go back and watch what I talked about with this client. And
I use Zoom though for other things though. I was going through our list. I'm surprised we've never ever talked about Zoom.
Come on, really? I gotta look.
I looked.
I got my list right in front of me.
I went and looked. Yeah.
It's never been on my list.
It's never been on my list.
Well, dang, I could have talked about Zoom.
It's been around for a long time.
But that'd be kind of weird because you just talked about Zencast. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay, so that's my second tool.
That's your second? Does that mean I have to go now?
Yep.
All right, let's see. What do I want to do next? I didn't put these in any particular order. I'm just hopping around. All right, so the next one, I'll talk about this one. I'll talk about Bonjoro. Do you know Bonjoro? No, you don't. I can see by that look. You're searching familiar. The memory banks. Yeah,
I am because I'm like I'm immediately not going. No, I think I have.
You have heard of it, yeah. So Bonjoro is a little video app, so that you can send personalized videos to customers, prospects, and it links into your CRM. So if somebody comes in, you can automate things so that it will send you a message and say, hey, you need to send a video to so-and-so. They just signed up for your program, or they just got on your email list, or they're a new prospect. And the cool thing about it is that it's an app on your phone. You hold up your phone and go, hey, Pat, it's Neil from Email Splat. Just wanted to thank you for signing up to have a call with me next week. Really looking forward to seeing you and learning about your business. And I hit done, and it instantly emails it to you. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah, I had a guy on a podcast last spring who was doing email videos.
Mm-hmm.
And I used his tool some for Hans, my Voyager Nets client.
Mm-hmm.
And but it was surprisingly hard to do those videos.
Oh, they're not easy, are they? Yeah.
I mean, well, I did pretty good. And you get 45 seconds and you go, oh, I misspoke.
Yep. I crashed and burned. Yeah. I find it easier. Like, I used to use Loom for that. I talked about Loom last year.
That was the tool, Loom.
Yeah. So I've used Loom for that. But with Loom, I know it's not the end of the world, but you have to, it's not as branded as Bonjoro is. It's not as seamless because, like I said, you can set up Bonjoro to notify you that, hey, you got to make a video, hit start, and you start and make the video. So it's just really easy to do. And it's just really easy to send to them because you just click, I'm done, and it does all the work. Whereas with Loom, I'm cut and pasting a link, putting it in an email. Not the end of the world. This is a first world problem. But this is just so much simpler. And they can also then respond to your video with, it puts it on a page with a chat box. So they could say, hey, they could write you a note there as well. So then it kind of becomes, I don't know. I have clients using it to welcome new customers that where they have a lot of customers, where it's not like I get one customer a week. It's like I get 15, 20 customers a week. And it's not it's a lower price product where you're not going to get on the phone with all of them. But here you can send them a personalized video and say, hey, Matt, thanks for signing up for the program. So it gives it a little personal touch.
Nice.
So that is Bonjoro.
Bonjoro.
As in hello.
All right. The next tool is, I hesitate saying it because my glass is empty.
Yeah, mine is about 2. What do we want to go with next? We got the milk stout. We got this one's a Scotch ale, right? Yeah, that's a Scotch ale.
Let's do the milk stout.
The milk stout? All right. So we are going to go with Neapolitan milk stout.
Neapolitan. That sounds like it's got multiple colors.
Yeah. Well, that's what they show in the picture.
Pink.
Do you really think we're going to get pink, brown, and white beer?
That doesn't sound very good.
No, I hope not. That sounds...
That sound.
Yeah, there you go. Here, I'll let you pour some first.
You guys to know that we are not like...
We're not making this up.
No.
Oh,
It looks brown.
it's nice and dark.
It looks milky. It looks stouty.
There's nothing like listening to a podcast about 2 dudes drinking beer.
Oh. Chocolate.
Oh, I can smell it.
Mm.
Oh, wow.
Roasted.
Yeah, that's good. I like that one.
It's well balanced.
Mm-hmm.
Not hoppy.
Mm-mm.
It's done nice. It's got a nice mouthfeel to it, too. I like it.
That one's a good one.
It's a good one. All right.
All right, is that giving you power to do your next one?
Unroll.me.
Unroll. Oh, I know what this is.
Okay, now people crap all over this.
Especially people in my position.
There's 2 reasons. There's 2 reasons you don't like this.
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you. Unroll.me does everything that it'll tell you what you're subscribed to and automatically unroll you.
Yes.
Makes it very easy for you to unroll, which has really cleaned up my email.
Unsubscribe. Yes.
It's an unsubscribe. I really, 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 really like it. It has cleaned up a couple of my. I have a Yahoo email that I've had forever that I like just.
I'm sorry.
No, I really like it because I use it for stuff I'm not going to read all the time, things I want to subscribe to, and I need to give somebody an email.
Yeah.
And it's really tidied that one up,
which
I really, really like. The downside of Unroll.me is I know some people say, well, this is a bigger conversation, like, oh, they're selling your data, what you're using. Oh, and that's evil. And I'm like,
everybody's selling your data.
If it's a free tool, if it's free, you're the product that they're selling.
Right.
And just be okay with that.
Yeah.
Stop your whining out there about this stuff. If you don't like it, don't use it.
Yeah.
I'm almost up to here with Facebook. But that said, I almost felt like doing a Facebook Live while we were here.
That wouldn't be hypocritical at all.
It wouldn't be hypocritical at all. You're right. But if you don't like it, don't use it.
Right.
I like Unroll.me.
Okay. Well, and I will say that, I don't like people unsubscribing from email lists, obviously, because that's what I do. But at the same time, I do like people unsubscribing who weren't going to buy or be interested anyway. So if you've got a whole list of stuff that's junking up your Yahoo account, I do want you off my list because you're just dragging down my delivery. So I would like you gone if you don't plan to ever read an email anyway. So
this is a critical sales point. You only want to talk to qualified buyers.
Right.
It's just a vanity project if you can say, I got thousands of people on my email list.
Yeah.
Of course, nobody reads my emails.
Right.
That's just a vanity project.
Right. Yes. We've had this discussion before, haven't we? It's the same with open rates. That's another vanity metric.
But we should. But so I think you would like the fact that these people are pruning your list for you.
Right.
You don't have to go in there and say, oh, look, this person hasn't looked at an email in a year.
Oh, well, I do that. Yeah, I was just cleaning up somebody's list yesterday.
It'd be less work for you if people tidied themselves up for you.
Right. Yes, it would. Voluntarily remove yourself. All right, are you going to be okay? You seem to be, the blood pressure is going up.
I am. I'm really like...
Have some more of that milk stout. Wow. All right, unroll.me. And he's snorting now, too. Jeez. Wow.
I'm sorry.
I don't know what to go to next. Are you done with that one?
Yeah.
Have you railed enough?
Yeah.
Okay, I did Ipvanish, I did Bonjour. How about Textexpander? Have you used Textexpander? No.
Is that the thing in... And Google's trying to finish my sentences before I...
It's kind of like that, but no, this is one where you control what's going to show up. So I use it for, things where I'm going to write the same paragraph over and over again, or my phone number over and over again, or my email address, or my website, or different customers' websites that I have to type this long URL over and over again. I have like a 2 to 4 character code that I just type in and it goes bloop and fills it in for me.
Is this like a plugin for is this a Google?
It's a Chrome plugin. Well, it can live on your computer, so it can be in anything. Primarily, I'm using it through Chrome because most everything I do is in Chrome. But I just make up a code, and anytime I put that combination of characters in, it goes bloop and fills in. So I use it for one thing I use a lot is I write over and over again different coding things for some APIs that I work on, and
right.
So I just go dot API and bloop, there's the base code that I need for that. It all fills in.
I would like this for LinkedIn.
Yeah. Are you typing the same or cut and pasting? And
thanks, Neil, for connecting. I really appreciate it. Do you listen to Sales Babble?
Yeah, there you
How
go.
How did you find me? Do you listen to Sales Babble? Thanks, Pat.
Yeah. And I set the recommendation. I just got this year. I was on Zoom with a friend, and he was showing me something that he was working on, and he goes dunk dunk pluk, and this whole API key showed up like bam, and I went whoa. How did you do that? He said, I've got Textexpander. I'm like, what? What is this evil magic you speak of? And I went and got it. And so one of the things they tell you is like, create a combination of characters that you're never going to accidentally type. So I do everything is semicolon, and then 2 digits. So semicolon, ZL is Zoom link. So my Zoom link that I use for my personal room just pops up then. And right. I have semicolon, TCF, and that's the contractorfight.com shows up. It's one of my clients. And typing that over and over again gets really old. And if I want to, I do semicolon, API, and bam, then I got the base URL for the API pops in, and then I can.
I like it.
Yeah. So it's very handy.
Super.
And it's, I don't know if there is a free version, but it's really inexpensive. I think I paid $30 for a year, maybe $20 for a year. It might have even been like $5 for a year. I can't remember. It was so little that I don't remember how much I spent on it. So
I buy stuff like that all the time.
Yeah, and it's just
to try.
It's made my life so much easier. The worst thing is I just forget to keep adding stuff to it, and then I realize like I should be putting this in Textexpander. I just typed this 5 times.
I like it.
Yep. So there you go.
All right. Next. I'm surprised we haven't talked about something like this for a while. This has been really useful too.
Yes.
freeconferencecall.com.
I haven't used that in like 10 years, which is like 100 years in the internet.
Well, I used to use conference calls all the time.
Yeah.
It was part of back when it was a common goal, it was part of the PBX that we had, the VoIP PBX.
Mm-hmm.
But now I've been on calls a lot more with multiple people all at once, trying to make decisions about marketing services, right? I'm just talking to a lot of people. There's lots of decision makers, and the easiest thing to do is like, let's just hop on a conference call.
Really?
And people don't want to get on Zooms and stuff like that because they're in their car or they're
right. They're dialing into Zoom.
They haven't taken a shower yet. I don't know.
Some days I'm like, where's the video? Turn off the video. So as soon as it pops up, I'm like looking for the video button. Off.
Neil, were you up late last night?
I'm up late every night.
You were partying, weren't you, dude?
Yeah. I don't look good in the morning. At our company, we have a pajama policy where you have to show up to the company meeting in pajamas every morning so you don't make the rest of us look bad. So
All right.
you can't take a shower before the company meeting, or you get made fun of.
There is a way of thinking that says if you're working at home before you get on it, you should be showered and
Yeah, I don't like that
well-dressed,
way of
and
thinking.
You look like $1 million, and you act like you're at work, and otherwise you're just gonna be goofing off.
No. I get more work done before I take a shower than after. It's my morning. I get up, I get going, and I just go. And that's when I'm at my best. And then,
you really want to say this because all your clients are now hearing this. They're liking. Every time
they
I
all
talk
know.
to Neil, he's unwashed.
No, I don't schedule calls before 11 is the first call I schedule with clients.
Okay, so you only talk to people clean.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes. If I have to do a shower before I get on a call with anyone. Yeah. That's a rule. Because you're right. Then I feel better. I feel like a slob if I'm talking to somebody.
I call people. I have to take a breath mint. I have to just years of being in sales. I don't want.
You're out in the car prepping yourself, and now you're just sitting here in your office by yourself, getting on Zoom.
Yeah.
All right. Is it my turn or yours? I've lost track.
I just did free.
You did freeconferencecall.com. Were you done with that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, freeconferencecall.com. It's free.
It's free. It's in the name. Okay, I have a free one. Here's my next one. My next one that I put down here is called StreamYard. And this is a fairly new one that I've discovered recently. Because a friend and I started doing a podcast, but it's a video cast. And we're doing it with this free platform.
A vlog,
whatever. We're doing it with this free platform called StreamYard, where we're just live streaming. And it pushes it out, your live stream out to, it can go to Facebook, to LinkedIn, to YouTube. I think you can go to one or all of those at the same time. And so we just get in there. The two of us are in a room, and we're talking beforehand, and then we just hit go live, and we've already told it where to send that feed. And it just, out it goes. And now we're live on multiple channels doing this live video.
I like that.
And then when it's done, it's going up on our YouTube channel. We made a little YouTube channel for it. So, and it's free. Of course, it's like all the freemium stuff. You can pay for it if you want to. I'm not even sure what the paid. I know they have branding on there. It says powered by StreamYard up in the corner. So if you want rid of that, you have to pay, but it doesn't bother me any. And I don't know what else you get when you pay.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's very slick. You can put graphics on the video. And
I've been listening to. We talked about before we started. I've been listening to a lot of Gary V.
Yes.
F and this and F.
I was just gonna say we can't talk like Gary V on this show, can we?
No.
Is this a family-friendly show?
I love Gary V.
Mm-hmm.
He is so honest, so authentic.
Yeah.
He is just awesome.
Right.
And he's he's been lecturing me. Pat.
He's been speaking directly to you.
More video.
Pat, pull your head out of your hiney. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I've been thinking hard on that. So cool. I'm gonna look into that.
Next year we're gonna do this in video.
Well, I almost thought about doing
That's what I thought. I showed up. You had the camera set up, and I thought we were going to do.
While we're doing it. See, I'm hardly on Facebook anymore. I should be doing more Facebook, I guess.
Yeah. I've removed myself from Facebook mostly. You're one of the few friends I have left on Facebook, so you should feel special.
But I'm never on there.
That's okay. That's probably why we're still friends on Facebook.
I've hidden everybody who's not related to me.
Yeah, I'm only
looking for puppies and babies.
I got I think I literally have 32 friends on Facebook, something like that. I unfriended everybody, not just unfollowed, unfriended. Let's just call it what it is. I don't want to be your friend.
Hermit.
Oh, I just got tired of the Facebook.
You're Henry David Thoreau living on the pond.
Yes, take me back.
All
All right, your turn. Do you need some more? Do you need some more of this milk stout? We got some left.
Dude, did you notice I was empty?
I noticed you were empty.
All right.
All right, I got to save a little more for me.
It almost looked a little red there, didn't it?
In the light, yeah. Well, that was interesting.
Okay, this is a weird tool. I don't know what to think about it, but it's kind of addicting.
Is this your last one? I think we're on your last one.
I'm on my last one.
We need to point that out. The tension is building as we go.
Yeah. I have a couple others that are... It's only 5, right? Dial-up.
Dial-up. I don't know.
It's an app on your phone.
Yeah.
And what it does is it'll match you up with somebody and put you into a conversation.
What kind of craziness is this? That's like the opposite of being a hermit.
Yes. And I'm in a group called Your Boss.
Okay.
And one comes on Tuesday and there's one on Thursday. And it'll ring. And if you answer it, it'll match you up with somebody.
And then what?
And then usually you're talking about what it means to be the boss.
Oh, it's like you are the boss. Not your boss. Like you are the boss.
But it's spelled Y-O-U-R space B-O-S-S. It's
okay.
Not you are. Your boss. I think it's a horrible name. It's confusing.
Yeah.
But everybody I've talked to on there's the boss.
Okay.
And I've probably done this 4 or 5 times, and it's been interesting. I've met people all over the country, working on all kinds of different projects. IT people, film people.
So why are people members of this platform? Why do they subject themselves to this? Because
it gives you an opportunity to have a chat with somebody anonymously about your problems. And usually they'll give you something.
Like a topic?
A topic. So they'll say, what are your plans for 2020? Or what are you doing to prepare for 2020? So it's been really, I've met some really interesting people. Every person I've met, I've hooked up on LinkedIn with. Mm-hmm. One guy was a cartographer. He was struggling with selling. I started giving him sales coaching, which I thought was...
So okay, walk me through this. Ring, ring.
Ring, ring. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Weird sound.
Okay.
But it kind of looks like a phone. When it you answer it like a phone.
Yeah. And you just go, hello.
And then a recording goes, you're soon going to be matched up with somebody in a second. Wait 1 second. Hello. I'm Pat. Who are you? I'm Lloyd. Hi, Lloyd. How you doing?
That's it.
And
then
just
you're
start
just
talking.
off.
And lots of the calls go from a half an hour. I've found a lot of the calls go to half an hour to an hour.
Oh, wow.
A buddy of mine has been doing this for a while, and sometimes his calls will go less, sometimes more, but I'm pretty chatty and ask a lot of questions. And
yeah. So why do you do that? I can just hear you.
Right. So
tell me more about that.
So I'm telling people about this podcast service that I'm creating, and they get people interested, and they go, I might know somebody, and it's been kind of a lead generator. It's been it's kind of like a mastermind, but you don't really know the people.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll keep doing it forever. But with that said, I just did one yesterday, and I was like, and the conversation was fascinating.
So, okay. Do you find this a good use of your time?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I do. I've limited amount of time.
Right. Yeah. So what do you get out of it? And why is it a good use of your time?
It allows me to try things out on people.
Mm-hmm.
One of the biggest problems I think people have when selling is, I see this all the time, is people are afraid to talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
They're afraid to go out there and ask questions and to do some market research.
Mm-hmm.
Go out there and ask people, see if this is a good idea. Well, how would I do that? You just go do it. But people don't want to be bothered. No, you're not bothering them if you're asking them for advice. I just had this conversation 2 days ago with somebody who's looking to get a job. Like, I don't know how to do this. How do I look for a job? I go, it's easy. What do you mean it's easy? Well, you go on LinkedIn, you find the hiring manager, and you connect with them. And when they connect with you, you say, hey, Neil, I see that you're in XYZ industry too. I'm thinking about making a change. I wonder if I could get your advice. You're clearly
You're clearly so much smarter than me.
Right? Do you think you can hop on a phone call? And people will go, sure, why not? Well, I couldn't do that. It'd be so intrusive. Like, really? If I asked you to do that, would you do it? Well, sure. Well, why would you expect someone else to be different than you? Well, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
It's weird.
Yeah, this is a little weird.
It's why I made it last.
Yeah, it's a little weird because it's like, at least on LinkedIn, you know who you're connecting with and trying to get on the phone with. Here, it's just...
It's random.
It's so random.
But everybody's been good. I met a lady doing a startup on a full-size drones.
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty cool. I learned a ton about how she was doing.
About drones?
And how she raised money.
Yeah.
Private equity to venture capital.
So that's why you want to be on here. What are these other people telling you that they get out of it? Why do they want to be on here?
You think about it. She was the CEO of the company.
Yeah.
I mean, like $1 million company. She needed somebody to talk to.
So it's therapy. It's just kind of...
It could be.
Release. Venting.
What makes our species so unique and so successful on this planet is our ability to have language and to communicate with one another.
I was watching PBS on this very thing last night. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And
so what's the name of this one again?
Dial Up.
Dial Up. And it's an app.
And it will all these will be in the show notes. All these links. So
of course they will be.
People look it up.
Okay.
I really like it for the Sales Babble listeners because I have a feeling that a lot of them, it's selling secrets for non-sellers. People who don't really see themselves as smooth talkers.
Yeah.
This is the chance for them to like try some stuff out on people.
Practice talking to people.
And you don't have to worry about losing a deal.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about embarrassing yourself because they don't really know who you are.
No, unless you want to share who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody I've been with has been pretty good. Like, well, let me look up on LinkedIn. And you're going, oh, my goodness, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been in California. Yesterday, the guy was in Chicago.
Oh. Real close.
Go figure.
Huh. That's very interesting.
It's
not one I would have expected.
No.
Which is why you put it last.
Yep.
All right. Well, the reason mine is last, my last one is last, is because I might get fired from this show after this one. I might not be invited back next year.
This is the get rid of sales in your organization. With this app, you don't need a sales team. You can fire all your salespeople.
Yeah. No. It's not it's a tool, but it's a Wayback tool. It's not a new tool.
I like the Wayback Machine for websites.
No. It's not even a technological tool. It's way back. So this year, I got addicted to fountain pens. Pat's looking at me like, what the heck are you doing? Fountain pens. I do everything with fountain pens now. I don't have a ballpoint, a pencil, a fountain pen. It's amazing.
I'm not weirded out by this.
No? Are you intrigued?
I am, because actually next week we're going to be talking about 2020 planning.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to talk about the Stoic diary that I'm using.
Yeah.
That I write by hand with a really nice pen on paper.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost thought about maybe putting it on this one, but I thought, it's a technology, an old technology.
Well, yeah, I was like, I'm not sure how Pat's going to go with this one.
No, I'm good. So what is the value of the fountain pen versus a ballpoint pen?
Well, first of all, just from a usability, it's a lot easier on your hand and on your wrist because you don't have to push. You just you float, and it's so much easier to write. You don't get the fatigue in your hand like you would with the regular ballpoint pen. And it's just cool. It's like I feel more connected. So I use it for journaling.
It's got heft to it, doesn't it?
It can. It can. So there's all different widths of, fountain pens. I'm learning there's a whole world that I don't even know about.
Yeah.
I am such a newbie here. I went and I Googled fountain pen for beginner and found these. They're literally ABS plastic, so they're really inexpensive. And I said, well, I'll just try those and see if I even like this. Because I heard about it on a podcast. Imagine that. And I thought, I'll see if I even like this. That seems kind of goofy. And I got them. I'm like, oh, I love this. So I'll be going to New York to the Fountain Pen Hospital, which is actually a store that sells old refurbished fountain pens, because I want to get I want to try out I want to move up a level, because mine is just the cheap. I've got a couple cheap intro level ones. You know who else I found out is a huge fan of the fountain pen? Our friend Mono. I went to lunch with Mono and I pulled out my fountain pen. He's like, oh, that's a fountain pen. And he pulls out his. He's like, I've had it for years. And his was really nice. His was so smooth. It's so smooth to write with them. Mine isn't worn in enough yet. His was old and really worn in, so it was just like on glass. But
they get better over time.
Yeah, because you grind them down and they get smoother. They don't have any little bumps or burrs on them that are catching the paper. And of course, also the more you spend on one, the nicer it is too. Mine are pretty inexpensive. But so every morning I do my journal every morning with the fountain pen and do all my to-do lists with the fountain pen. And I got it because I just wanted to feel more connected, I guess. I don't know.
I have these Bics that I had that I really, really like.
Yes.
Medium point ones. They never ever blotch.
Mm-hmm.
They roll really nice.
Yeah.
I'm looking to buy a bunch of them with habaneros on them.
Mm-hmm.
I've been shopping around for those.
Yeah.
They're surprisingly pricey.
Mm. Yeah, the fountain pens I got on Amazon for, I think it was $30 each.
They were the cheap ones.
Yeah, for a fountain pen, that's pretty inexpensive. I think you can get them for less, $20 or something, but I'm looking to move up.
And you have to put a cartridge in it, right? An ink cartridge?
I'm using ink cartridges, yeah, which is the lazy man's version. I mean, the people who are serious actually have the inkwell. They've got the old school bottle of ink, and I don't know that I need to go that far. That seems like a lot of work to me.
My high school, in study hall, they had desks with a little hole in it for the inkwell.
You've dated yourself, yes.
Well, no, but we weren't using them.
Yeah, but they were still in the desk. So
yeah, well, there was a 100-year-old building. I think even when I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got my eye on one that Mark Twain endorsed around 1910, 1920.
Yeah, really?
I'm like, that is a cool looking pen. So I need to find one and try it. Yeah.
He would know.
Well, I hear that he was always broke and needed the money, so he would endorse anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that too.
All right. So there we have it. Those are my 5. You did your 5.
I did my 5. So my 5 were Let's Chat, Zencaster, Unroll.me, freeconferencecall.com, and Dial-Up.
All right. And my 5 were Ipvanish, Bonjoro, Textexpander, StreamYard, and a trusty fountain pen.
A trusty fountain pen.
There you go.
Hardware, not software. All
right.
The rest have been software.
Yes, that is literal physical hardware. Yeah.
Awesome. Any parting words? Any parting advice for 2020? They say 2020 is, what do you call it? Hindsight, foresight.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I think my word for 2020 is clarity.
My word for 2020 is intent.
There we go. It's kind of hand in hand with clarity. Yeah.
I just had Marianne Renner on here from Chaos to Clarity. You know Marianne?
No, I do not.
Yeah, she was great. I got a bunch of really, really good input on that one.
I'll have to listen to that.
Yeah, she's from Chaos to Clarity.
From Chaos to Clarity. Yes.
Yeah, that's a new book that she wrote.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow, good stuff.
All right.
Well, let's wrap this up.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
How long is this?
I don't know.
Oh, man, 50 minutes.
Wow. Gonna have to get out the slicer on this one.
No. It's Christmas next week.
There's no time.
There's no editing. This is just gonna go out exactly as is.
All right.
Well,
thanks for listening. If you made it to 50 minutes,
cheers.
Clink. Happy 2020.
Happy 2020.
Thank you for listening to the Sales Babble podcast. Find us at www.salesbabble.com.
This is a production of Habanero Media.